The day began in the remote Malian village of Jalakoto in the same way that it has for thousands of years. Women awoke before dawn to the crowing of roosters and began tending their fires and pounding the grain for the day's meals. The men of the village got ready to go out and work in their fields under the hot tropical sun. The children expected just another day of playing with one another. For these Yalunka people, life has changed very little since Abraham's time. But there was something different about this day. A loving Heavenly Father once again looked out the window of heaven, wondering when His lost children in that village would come home. He did not sit by passively. He sent a team of His witnesses from First Baptist Church of Keller to share the good news of His love with these villagers for the very first time. Satan put many obstacles in their path. Rugged terrain marked with deep ravines to cross, and confusing paths that amount to little more than foot trails over and through tall brush, rocks, and grass taller than a man. At times the team almost turned back, but the urgency of the message compelled them on. Just before sunset, the team reached the village. God's redemptive plan interrupted Satan's plot to keep these people in spiritual darkness. The whole village was abuzz with the word of these strange white people who had come to share the message from God with the village. After feeding the team a dinner of rice, peanut sauce, and a wild antelope that had been killed near the village that day, nearly the whole village came out under the full moon to hear the message at 10:15 p.m. God's praises were sung in that village for the first time, and then, for an hour and a half, our team, together with our translator, shared the truth of God's love and forgiveness through Jesus Christ with them. A strong windstorm scattered the people to their mud huts at 11:45, and all night they considered the message that they had heard. Early the next morning, our team gathered with the acting chief and 4 other village elders. Once again we presented the truth to them, and all 5 of them enthusiastically embraced God's forgiveness through Jesus Christ and committed their lives to follow Him. No doubt many others in that village will join them in following Jesus, and life in that village will never be the same. The loving Heavenly Father and His angels all rejoiced that morning as 5 more of His lost children were now found and safely back home with Him. Imagine how many more villages there are just like this one who are ready to follow Jesus if someone would just tell them the good news. This same scene is played out in several Yalunka villages in Mali over the past 3 years. Our church has literally been a part of changing the spiritual history of this entire people group. Now there are active churches in several villages that are beginning to reach out to neighboring people and villages. As a praying and giving member of this church, you are just as much a part of what God is doing there to redeem His lost children as those who are able to go personally. Thank you for your faithfulness to support our work among the Yalunka people of Mali, West Africa. We are fulfilling the words of the Apostle Paul in Romans 15:20 and 21. It has always been my ambition to preach the gospel where Christ was not known, so that I would not be building on someone else's foundation. Rather, as it is written, those who were not told about Him will see, and those who have not heard will understand.